Feel free to go into Gordo Shenanigans on the Enemy Centers Discord. There is a thread there for it for your suggestions. The next one we have coming up is FF Summons. So, without further ado, okay, we've started the mission.
Any percenters?
Thank you, Excel. Okay. Beat Yellow Long too. Yellow Long?
Let's head in. Shall we get this expedition underway? There's one. I expect to be impressed.
Yeah, there's one down there.
Let's take it down.
Damn, what is all that darkness?
Fourth long bus. Okay, okay.
Darkness wasn't bad enough. Nice one, Jack. Now let's see what secrets this place is hiding.
Stay out of the flames, unless you want to get cooked.
Ooh,
Let's
la.
find another way around.
I think we're safe. So,
Blackmouth
what
Wukong.
now?
You committed to it. Okay. Thank you for the heads up. Alright, I've turned down the sound a little bit on it. Let me know if that's less annoying. It's probably not.
We're safe.
Sweet. Alright, fixed it. But no, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Mayako, like I said to you, don't ever sell yourself short and put yourself from doing something. Do you think anybody thought that walks into a game and thinks, oh, I can beat this game, or I can play this game, or I know everything about this game? No, you play the game because you want to experience it. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. You are still pushing yourself into a point where you're not. And
Finally a break. This will take us straight to the top.
that's the main thing. We all enjoy games differently. That's the whole thing. It's like, I enjoy running. I also enjoy playing games normally, but I enjoy running. So that's why I do it.
Treasure.
Darkness is so thick I can taste it. This is it. No doubt.
Get out of it.
It's over.
Did you see that?
Exactly. And you can get to the point where, with those kind of games, you can get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm not allowed to use this. You set your own challenges. Well, that's when you know it's a really good game, when you go back to it. See, that's the thing. Once if you know you can go back to it and you can continue to enjoy it, that's when you know it's a solid game. It's like, look at Java and FF9. That game should be dead to Java. And he hates it with a passion. Arbiki. I think this is it. I think that we literally just go through the missions itself, which is sweet. I'm okay with it so far. I should have done that ninja form. The buff lasts longer.
Is this the cave the kid was talking about? Damn webs.
Stay away from those webs.
I think we're safe.
Something's off here. The air feels wrong.
Yeah, it's hard to breathe.
If you don't like flashing lights, you're in the wrong place, by the way.
Been here before.
I've had that feeling before. And it's best not to think about it. We won't figure it out.
Are those the pirates? They're using the cave against us. Yeah, strong enough to strip pain.
The reason I'm using a ninja form, the buff there, is because I have that set up so that buffs last longer. So this teleport will last longer now,
Pirates sure
rather than just burning out quicker. Ha! That's some level of payback right there.
poor thing must have been starving.
That thing memes on me so much in New Game. This is like my victory lap, alright? Excel, do we have any more co-op things on our list? Just thinking of we have Revelations, but I don't have it on PC. And I guarantee that's not crossplay, is it?
Let's be quick. Let's make this entertaining.
Webs are everywhere.
Ugh, that thing's an eyesore. We'll silence it for good. Let's get on.
No, it's still Quirky? Yeah, feel free. But yeah, Quirky, feel free. Go and post up all your stuff in the Enemy Centers part. I can get it set up for announcement channel so you can post in there, then ping it over to your Discord and all that. Just let me know what you need sorting out.
Doom and gloom. Take a good look, because we're headed right back into the thick of it.
Or vice versa.
Nuisance. Be ready for anything. Won't be long before it's spewing
Oh, I'm
monsters.
stuck.
Time is of the essence. So far.
Yeah, I think it's Revelations was the last one, wasn't it? But I don't have. I mean, let's say, pick it up.
We're safe for now.
Sweet. Oh, I forgot to split on thing. It's fine. Yeah. So I mentioned Lightning Returns to you, XL. You suggested that game, right? Da-da. Well, I've never played it.
Let's head in. Work as a team and we'll be fine.
But I believe your words were it's something you play actually, because it's
That before? Are those people?
I don't know. You thought it was more like a beat 'em up one.
Pure darkness.
I could have mistakenly taken those words. That's fine.
That did the trick. Let's go.
I bet this place is filled with secret rooms and hidden treasure.
I wonder what riches the king of the dark elves is hoarding.
Have a look at this. Let's take it. We're safe for now. Ready to try again?
Don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
Look out! It's aiming at us! Get behind something, Jack!
Action combat, so like Kingdom Hearts action combat, right? I like Final Fantasy 15. That kind of action combat.
Gotta time the shots.
So like Expedition 33.
make this entertaining.
Okay. Sounds weird.
That tower we saw. Time to explore.
Yeah, I'm trying to work out what we go through next. Lightning returns.
That looks troublesome. Over already? A foregone conclusion.
Jack's power is no joke. You think he might be the one?
We need to make
Definitely
sure.
the one.
Why not throw him at a badass monster? And I'd settle it quick.
Oh, Hughes. I need a break.
This thing is fast, and it hits hard.
Get out of it. Yeah, to be fair, I got it in a whim. I just thought, you know what? It looks, you kept trying to sell it to me, and I am going to play through the Final Fantasy 13s at some point, just because I never actually got around to giving much time. I mean, there are some characters that I dislike, Hope being one of them. But you know, there was more alright characters. Saz was cool. Snow was alright. Yeah. Yeah.
I've been here before too.
So you know where to go.
Not really. It's just a vague sense.
I know what you meant, don't worry. I didn't think you just made up some cool joke, don't worry. Yeah, there's a dude called Joke. You not know about Joke?
Whoa, that thing changes the weather.
Yeah. The forest is different.
Sometimes nature gets warped, corrupted, and turns into this.
What is it?
When unnatural power is fused with the natural world, it becomes a source of darkness.
You're full of surprises.
Just something I heard.
This might be worth using.
Lucky.
Looks like we can pass through now.
Yeah, well, at least we're making through most parts without the teleport running out. That was the main thing. I've not got haste and fleal on here, because I don't have the full setup that
Won't be long before spewing monsters.
We'll silence it for good.
that some of the others do, because their stuff is grinding like to hell. So ours is a little bit suboptimal,
Ways open.
which is fine.
What a view. But there's a weird feeling I can't shake.
Of course. You've seen what's in the shadows.
Let's get on with it. Come on, let's be quick about it. It's over.
A nuisance.
Let's make this entertaining.
Reason we're doing that is so it doesn't meme us on this thing here.
The world gets slightly smaller.
Are we gonna go back or what?
Let's be quick.
Be ready for anything.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what to throw out next. I'm not struggling with choices, 'cause I know we've got a few, because we still got quite a lot to go.
You think we're safe?
So, what now? Ah, cubes.
I need a break.
Still scared of lightning, Jed?
I bet.
I have a perfectly healthy fear. You go out there, Ash.
Would Lightning Return be that much of a slog, Excel?
Hey, Neon. Remember you said if we met Chaos, you'd start respecting Jack?
Huh. Did I?
Yep.
Sorry.
Should I put that on as like a what?
Jack, remember?
I do now. Thanks.
Okay.
Any chance you could forget that?
Maybe we do that as start the stream one at one
We
point.
should collect ourselves.
Watch your step, Jack.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is a new game plus one. I've done the story before. This whole thing is based on runs I've not done, and I've not been through this one. I've been through the game. I've never done the new game plus for it, so we're just here doing that. How we doing, Matt? What? Thank you for the follow, by the way. There's actually two in this one I haven't done. Maybe I'll do that one after. I mean, this is like a, like I said, my victory lap here. I'm getting to meme on all these other ones that have absolutely bodied me previously. Because in a normal run, that thing grabs me like 3 or 4 times before I even remotely get to do what I need to do, which is normally body him, but he just likes to throw out hugs, and it's not nice. But welcome in, Matt. Welcome in. Yeah, you've caught us in the midst of our challenge still, so we're still working with that. Chimera, that one. We're gonna fall off the side here using the teleport. I need to be careful. Guarantee I'm falling. 100%. 100%. No question. There's invisible floors in this part here. So, you ever played this game, Matt?
Asto said there'd be a crystal at the top of the tower.
And where there's a crystal, there's chaos. Come on.
This is true. I have. It's one of the only games I have.
Let's be quick.
Until we do another. Who knows? Maybe we will. We've had the link. We had the invitation once. Nothing to say we can't do it again.
I think we're safe.
So, what now?
There's one.
More trash to dispose of. That was a simple matter.
Ah, it's a shame. It's a good game. It is a good game.
Looks like it hurts.
I do recommend it, even for casual play. I think the end game content's good as well, because you have the rift climbing, like floor by floor, and the floor count is basically infinite. Alright, so we need to grab this first.
Just gone.
Sweet.
There's gotta be a switch or something. Let's find it.
That thing reflects magic. I think I know someone with some spell.
There we go.
This crystal is some kind of trigger.
You can't hit me. Do 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 do. Can't touch this. Do 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 do.
Defenses falter.
Weird.
The ironic thing is, I'm not even going quick compared to normal.
Or is it a different tower?
This place
I wasn't paying
plays
attention.
tricks on the eye, like a mirage. Makes you see things that aren't really there.
Yeah. Can't trust anything we've seen.
Was not paying attention. That's happened way too many times before.
This will be a thorn in our side before long.
Come on, let's be quick about it.
Amount of times I've got lost there normally. I like forgot to go and get that crystal. Ah. Yeah, it's usually on sale. Or you can go on loaded. Get a CD key. Oh, come on. Really? I didn't know that. I swear they do PS.
Stay on your toes. Nothing's in ice world. This silences are good. Nothing's in our way now.
Wow, that sucks.
Very much like to see that again. We're safe for now.
Ready to try again? I never meant that. That's more like it. Thanks.
Well, you know what? That makes me feel better about Xbox. Because, you know, well, I like Xbox, to be fair. I enjoy PlayStation. I did my time with it, but it swayed me over this side. And things like that are better. It's just... Don't get me wrong, I think the PlayStation, and there's nothing wrong with PlayStation, I like PlayStation, but I always do the same comparison. PlayStation is
Calm down. We're
Apple,
okay.
Xbox is Android, and Android allows more freedom. That's always been my logic.
Hey,
That's what kind of put me away from PlayStation a bit. Mate, I'm trying to get the lift. Ah, not you. Excel, once this thing's over, I'm gonna do my...
So, what now?
Get away from the walls.
I know.
Sorry, just trying to be helpful.
I'm not mad. It's just how I am. You are helpful. Sometimes.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. As I say, so after I've done like my challenges, because I've obviously got some of the challenges we've been doing for the community stuff that I've got to throw out there, I'll start looking at the Stranger of Paradise stuff, see if we can piece some form of route together. It's one I always actually want to spend some time with, not like heavily invested, but like, you know, a bit of back and forth working out as we kind of go, because obviously we want Sancho involved as well.
Ah, Hughes.
I need a break. There's one.
More trash to dispose of.
Our attacks go
Da,
right.
da, da, da.
It's like swinging at air.
Keep your wits about you and we'll be fine.
I'm sure they will. That was pretty much the plan. I mean, I'm already trying to brainstorm just based on prior knowledge anyway. So I'm trying to think of what's going to work. I mean, the whole precedence of one being support or one being thingy, but obviously, technically speaking, if you're three, there's room for 3 person more. Well, I'm on Xbox, so Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is hitting in June, so that's the one for me. Because we'll be playing that casually. So I don't know how viable a run is on that. It's probably a mission and a half. Otherwise, what other games are coming out that's worthwhile? I mean, any throw some things at me, folks. What's coming out? What should I be hyped for? What are you hyped for? Work with me. You gotta show me some hype here.
and there'll be hell to pay.
I was gonna say, you know, bless you or something to his knees. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Like, nice, nice. You weren't stabbed. This is a good start. This is promising. Getting all serious now. It's got the green screen. Alright, alright, see how it is. It's all professional now. You saw it here, folks. Before he gets famous, get his autograph. Then sell it. Wait for the inflation. Alright, Mr. Green Screen over here. Mr. Fancy Pants.
Stay frosty.
You know it. You know it. Get yeeted to mate. This would be like a nice little thing for Java. Beating on all these things in Final Fantasy 9, just that meme on him.
Shout out to his family.
Big shout out to Totonella. Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Any percenters.
But yeah, Matt, feel free to hop in the Centers Discord. It is a place for, you don't have to be a speedrunner, you don't have to be a challenge runner, just enjoy games. Mayoko's in there and that. Feel free to hop in, discuss the games you enjoy, throw out suggestions to all the streamers and the stuff they do, things that you may want to see, things that they may bring to the table.
I hear ya. Just the thought of climbing this.
Okay, okay. What model is it?
What's up?
Just got a feeling, but I can't find the words for it.
It's so cold. We are quite high up after all. Perhaps we may even have the chance to trek through a forest.
Really? Are you crazy?
I hate this. I've got this sinking feeling in my stomach.
You know, I feel like I might be pretty good at climbing.
Don't be so sure. That thought might not be your own, so I'd take it with a grain of salt if I were you.
Speaking from experience,
Avalanche, be careful.
This might be worth considering.
I think we're safe.
So, what now?
Nice.
Rock solid. What did this?
I don't know what the price stamp on one of those is, but
But they look like they're sleeping.
how much did you throw down? I guess because you green screen and
Don't
that.
look very stable.
Agreed. Keep one eye on the ceiling.
60, that's a bargain.
No! I can
What kind of damage?
I never thought it would be this bad. Let's go slowly. Am I glad we made it through there? Shall we take a break?
You've got my vote.
No. Clean up and see.
I'm so over climbing.
so when we first got to this mountain, I felt lost. Also excitement at the thought of scaling this thing.
Excitement? I don't believe you.
Well, if that isn't a potentious roadblock. Ash, anyone news of this?
This is the same tunnel as the hole of earlier. Jack, let's take a look.
Oh, okay. Oh, fancy.
Let's clear the field.
An Elgato one. Is that the one that straps to your back of your chair? That kind of green screen.
Let's make this entertaining.
Or is it the full-on green screen?
That was a simple matter.
You look almost disappointed, Jack.
Yeah, enjoy Frosty's little recitals.
Its body is decaying. Look, it's creating sludge.
It will catch all the memes and nonsense that we all taught. Okay, nice. That's
It's lost half its body, but it's still gold. I admire its tenacity.
It's just a mindless animal clinging to survival. Now take your advice and keep your guard up.
Whatever you say, Jack.
okay. Well, he just lost to Eevee. I'll prove you wrong after this run because I'll show you the fact the chat decided. So in between runs at the moment, Matt, we're doing a little bracket on a little tournament bracket based on all of your inputs in the chat, and you're all deciding who wins this. All right. So just saying. Let's. I mean, Cyndaquil's up next, actually, at XL. So, yeah, I mean, Cyndaquil versus Froakie. But yeah, Totodile already lost to Eevee.
Here somewhere, right?
Yeah.
No, I've not put any stipulations on this. I've not said there's no Evos, nothing like that. So Totodile could be completely Evoed. Eevee could be whatever evolution, doesn't matter. The chat decided that Eevee took the win. I think the cuteness won.
We better watch our step.
Hiding in a place like this, huh?
Attacking them head on is suicide.
Sorry, but I don't have time to play games.
Destroy it.
Keep your wits about you and we'll be fine.
We're safe. For now.
Come on.
I expect to be impressed.
Gotta do something! Curses. The clock's ticking. Any ideas, Jack?
It's a simple matter.
You look almost disappointed, Jack.
Oh, it's weird moving this teleport.
There's one.
More trash to dispose of. Be vigilant.
On your toes. Look at this.
Let's take it.
Hey, Sophia. Just what is this dark crystal? I know what it can do, but what in the world is it?
I wish I could tell you, but there's no way for us to know for sure.
Astos might know something.
Point. Let's ask him next time. Do you remember anything about that place, Ash?
A little. It's where I got the crystal from.
Oh, the amount of saves I've lost to Pokemon. It's unreal.
Reminisce about the past when you're old and gray. Right now, we got a job to do.
You don't have that fear factor these days. You don't get that these days, you know, the whole... I mean, you can lose a save on an odd occasion, but most things are backed up to a cloud or something like that, and it's like, okay, yeah, there's no risk. No risk, no reward.
Hey, Jack. Are you mad at
But the days where you can only have one save at a time, and you have to make sure you played it, and just that one, unless you want to start again.
It's when your memories pop in your head. I can't tell whether they belong to me.
Mine was on those two.
I hate that feeling. These crystals protect us from that. And that's all that matters to me.
Careful. That thing's got magic.
Get out of it, Lich.
Man, that's like we're not done yet.
Now we're done. Get yeeted. Oh, I used to walk miles with that. I lost a lot of weight when Pokemon Go first came out. And bought a lot of power banks. Not many left.
There's one.
I think I know this place.
Careful, or you'll upset Jack.
There's a reason we can't remember our past.
Like what?
So we can focus on our mission. What else?
All right, I can get behind that theory.
This water's so clear.
If Pokemon was a reasonable run, I'd do one for this challenge. It's just, it's not viable. Not for the time span we're looking for with the, you know, time I've got.
Still in our way. Let's cut through.
Hey, look at that. Bet you can't break that.
I can barely see a thing in this fog. We had better proceed with caution.
Defenses are shattered.
Yeah, yeah, it sucks, basically, it sucks. Reset hell. Is that what I was trying, weren't it?
Tell me, which one will you choose?
Which what?
No, I won it. Was it? No, was I doing blue?
Will it be treasure or the princess?
I was doing red, wasn't I? Either or.
Of course you were. We just forgot.
It was way worse.
Being
Yeah,
honest,
no.
that's like
Saw that for a laugh.
if I were her, I'd be
Sure as human in here. Must be all this ivy.
I can't choose.
Hey, on one hand, you get the crown. It ain't like
careful of its breath. I don't even want to imagine what it'll do to us.
Indeed. I can barely stand to look at it. Let's be rid of it.
Yeah. It's just for my for the time I figure it's not really much of an option.
I want it out of my sight.
No worries, go and do your thing, mate, go and do your thing. Excel, when you come back, I might get you, if you don't mind, I might post a thing in there and have you do some of the polls if you're about. So we can said no stress if not, I'll just do it in between the breaks parts. Not a big thingy, but I thought, you know what? Why not? Because then I might even line up the FF7 ones for after, if we get through it. And I'll post up the brackets in the Discord as well. So I'll post up all of our winners, all of the things that people suggested, so you can all have a talk about the nonsense that happened. All right, Kate Sithby and Sabin. I'm not gonna let that one go. Not gonna let that one go. Sorry, but no. I still don't agree with Shadow beating Freya. I don't know. That might just be a personal choice, but I don't see it. Thank you for the time, Isaac. Appreciate that. 7 out of 5, 7 out of 10.
Have a look at this.
Let's take it.
Damn, this lava.
There's got to be a way across. Nothing's in our way now. Careful now.
I'm not sure if that was that just deafened you face or
Fire without it.
I'm vibing here. You let me know in the chat, Matt.
Really? The water will boil faster?
Indeed. Not just ice. Hotter fire gives off more energy.
I think we're safe.
So, what now?
Found some cubes.
We should collect ourselves. We were just down there not long ago.
Yeah, that means we're making progress.
Gotta sink some feelings. Victory is still within reach.
I thought so. That's why it can't be turned down. I refuse. Unequivocally, I refuse. It's not allowed. It's illegal. All right. It lives rent free. It's just there.
We're pretty high up, aren't we? We must be.
There are just certain redemptions. Yes, it has to be loud. Yes, it has to deafen you, and that is one of them. Ketchup. Oh. Do we do pugilist? Good question. Again, like, you know, so there's some you have to just let them play off. It's nice to see you enjoying. Matt, have you hopped in the Discord as well? Don't forget to do so. Feel free to join in the fun of the M-Centers. We have the lovely likes of Mayako. We have Javasaurus, if you know Javasaurus, which I'm assuming you do if you know Mayako. Read a Mac, you know, that one. But feel free to hop in. You'll see post-ups of people, all the different people streaming, because we have a selection for you. We have a selection of misfits.
Pretty old.
Faster!
Does it work?
That is my little lady, my little girl there. That's the most inspiring redemption we have.
Things are finally in motion.
Because we are a family-friendly stream as well. Because family first here is the rule. I will sack off a world record run if I'm needed, just in case that isn't clear. Damn right.
So the place we came from is different from this one. We came to this world to strike down chaos and become warriors.
But yeah, so if you are looking to obviously do the R9 runs and that once you've done your first run, enjoy your first run, first of all. But yeah, reach out, feel free.
Nothing's ever easy for us, is it? Let's silence this.
You got a selection of people you can ask. I'm just the all-arounder. You know, I just do whatever I feel like. That's me. That's the kind of run I am. Oh, whoa. Absolutely no need for that. Let's see me throw things at you.
Wow. I didn't think we'd get through this way.
One more secret uncovered. We're safe for now.
Ready to try again?
Question. Do you know if you're going to be doing New Game Plus, or do you want to do like New Game with no New Game Plus with no infinite ammo,
Remember about home.
so you can use some of the better guns?
Tall grass.
Just that correct question, because I'm asking because I'm going to help you set up beforehand, so you don't ruin your save and have to go over and over again. Because you're on console, right?
Nothing else. Not even the town or my house. Even so,
So you're not.
I want to go home.
Basically, the reason I asked that is because if you are going to do it with without the no infinite ammo, don't unlock the extra blood collector, and don't unlock in the bonus thing, and don't unlock advanced tracking, which gives you more points and that as you go. The reason being because you can't turn them off afterwards, and you'd have to set yourself up with a fresh file to go ahead and do it on console all over again. Because you can have no infinite ammo, you can just turn that off and all that, but those ones you can't turn off, which obviously scuffs your submissions.
I think we're safe.
We have still got to do a Resident Evil run here, to be fair, so Resident Evil 9, so you will see that, because I technically haven't submitted a valid run for it yet, because the boards weren't open when I was running it.
Why are you so afraid of the past, Jack?
I'm not afraid.
Things we see on this journey, they're stirring up our memories. Everyone's.
Oh, okay. Okay, that might you might want to start with New Game Plus then, which is like, you know, infinite rockets and all that kind of stuff. Have a bit of fun there.
Careful now.
Let's be quick. Let's get on.
But yeah, so if you run those, you'd have to go fresh files, so like start the whole thing again, more or less.
So aside from becoming warriors of light, I feel like we had a greater purpose. Do you two remember anything?
I remember being from here and getting the crystal.
I know I don't want to lose to anyone else. I know I have to live and... No. Jack will be quick to be over.
Oh, whoa, what do you mean with me?
There must be a way to stop it. We just have to find it.
This one won't go down easy. The underguard.
Won't be long before it's human monsters.
We'll silence
Well, it was in the wrong class, that's why. I've never been hit by this cannon so much. Oh, Borderlands, great one. Borderlands, great one. We did another thing we do here at End of Sensors, we do like little races between the End of Sensors. We made up a run for Borderlands 3, which we did a duos race. So for those who know Borderlands 3, so you may know Katagawa, that area, like the ninja part with Zero. So the run was called Downfall of Katagawa. Yeah, we made the name up and all that stuff because it's not an official run, but we did a race up until that point there, which is about, for us, you know, for people that don't speedrun it like the big leagues do, because theirs is like a 2-hour run for the entire game. It's like an hour and a half, 2-hour run. They're thereabouts. Alright, we're coming up to the last few bits here.
I should have guessed. Where else would the fiend of water be?
This mark here. It means we shouldn't use fire, right?
The door opened. Was it because we destroyed that generator?
Anyway, it's open.
This might be worth
So Matt, what kind of game are you into?
the electricity coming out of
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Definitely keep it white.
Like I said, we got a selection here. So what's these? Borderlands, I'm assuming, is one of them.
So, if we can find
You a Souls-like gamer? RPGs? Competitive shooters? Fighting game extraordinaire? Actually, you know what, Total, I'll ask you the same question as well, to be fair. I've seen you play a few games, but what's your go-to?
There's a dark aura in the air. It's down there.
We're closing in on the water crystal. Now let's keep going. Hey, Jack. What do you think of Princess Sarah?
What?
At least it's not talk of the past. I'm asking about you now.
Got no interest in her as a person.
Yes, just yes. Yes, absolutely, just yes.
Well, she is the symbol of hope and peace in Cornelia, after all.
No context, just
I
yes.
really want to protect the princess. How about becoming a knight?
That's up to the royal family.
Even if you were knighted, I'd expect they'd give you work that requires a less delicate touch.
By the way, why were those pirates so upset?
Right now, they are at the mercy of the wind. But if we
okay,
revive the
okay.
water crystal, we
So,
can
have you been enjoying Wukong though with Mayako? It seems like you've been getting into the chicken fights. I'll say I refer to his last fight with KFC chicken.
And I doubt those pirates know either. Something tells me they'd be in a bad mood either way. This key's a little different from the other one we've got.
Okay, okay. Why? He is. He doesn't give himself enough credit. Does not give himself enough credit. Can we get a shout out for Mayako if I've got a mod in chat?
quick.
Be ready for me.
That was a simple matter.
Next fight might not be so easy. Come on.
If not, I will do it in a second. I get the difficulty thing if it's your first, get involved in it for the first time, it can somewhat off-putting. But the more you play, the more they get used to it, to be fair.
Feeling again. Which can only mean
Yeah, the final fiend. At long last. Stop dragging your feet, Jed.
It's fair. They're a challenge. They let you, they make you work for it instead of hand it to you, because some games just do. I have that. I've never actually gone through the entirety of the game. What was the last Souls I played through? AI Limit, I think, was the last Souls I played through entirely. Uh, Memories of Water. Suffering of Fools is there. Trying to remember their missions now. Remembering Home. Nice. Yeah, I get that. I get that. What's the past? Remembering Home. Okay, so we don't actually have to do Pugilist. Tensions higher. I haven't played the Kingdom Hearts properly in ages. We do. We have a couple of people do runs for Kingdom Hearts. We also have one that can blindfolded beat Sephiroth. Shout out to Zoo.
I have no memory of this place. White Rose.
It's one of his redemptions in his stream.
Honestly, I find it unsettling.
That's the statement right there. When you can throw that in a redemption. Now I believe he has to do a little bit of a warm up for it sometimes. But you know,
Seems liable to fall.
that is fair.
Typical Rufenian fault.
Every room looks the same to me.
Now when we say any potential has got the talent pool, we got the talent pool. My Special Olympics talent pool. We're the Paralympics of content creators.
I expect to be impressed.
Don't go too far to there. Thank you. Yes, the thing about this run is trying to remember where to go in that. Lucky enough, I do know where to go quite well.
Stories say it started as a tiny village.
Normally, we don't use this mechanic for getting through the game because we don't have access to teleport, but we do at this point, and it makes it a little bit more free with the movement.
Thanks to
Now, technically, we would use more things. We'd use haste and flee as well as the teleport, so so that we move exceptionally quicker.
and continued seemingly without end. I never finished my story about the Ruthenians. There's not much left. Cornelia was populous and strong. But year after year they lost ground to Ruthenians. It was then, when Cornelians, weary of war and on the verge of breaking. Now we should be able to unlock that door.
Matt's just setting trends. He's not following trends, right?
Another locked
How doing, just?
Just how obsessed
What are you working on next now?
Excellent. It's open.
GG's on the Forerunner thing. Don't forget to share your PBs as well, just. You know, throw those in the Discord. Did you set your SRC account up as well?
What is it?
Just is one of the more recent speedrunners that are getting involved. He wasn't a speedrunner before, and he just wanted to randomly get involved, and he's enjoying it. Recently did a Forerunner race with me, and he's also run it back as well. Too.
Cornelians often say that things they can't explain were left behind by Ruthenia.
This tower just popped out of nowhere. So it's more of a gift than a leftover?
Trapping us in a room with a bloodthirsty monster? Someone in Ruthenia had a serious sadistic streak.
Testing us.
Oh.
Just bastards.
Just question. Have you heard back about your job? Out of curiosity, mate.
I think we're safe.
So, what now?
Second crystal activated.
Aren't we done yet? Another key.
Let this be the final one, please.
You know what you do? You call them up and ask for feedback. Put them on the spot. I know it's always a good best practice. This is speaking from as I work as a coach in like my day to day. Not currently, my previous job was, but like yeah, it's what I do by nature. Always ask for feedback and stuff. Get them to give you some explanation as to why. For two reasons: it gives you an understanding, and the other reason, it also catches them in the nonsense they're chatting. But sometimes they'll say it and they don't actually mean half of it. It's like, well, yeah, it was this reason, yeah, we don't feel like you added enough because of X, Y, and Z. It's like, okay, well then, sure. And you'll realise they give you such cop-out answers. And sometimes, you never know. They'll be like, oh yeah, we're going to call you. On the off chance. There's an odd chance. It's happened once or twice before.
Telling me we'll find Astos behind this door. Think I'm right?
All I know is there's a powerful darkness in there.
Oh dear. Then we'll have to
Yep.
go in with our weapons drawn.
Couldn't tell you, mate. Couldn't honestly tell you. I have so many games that I've enjoyed. I'd hate to brand it down to one. True that. Get to it. But yeah, it's so hard just to narrow it down a list, like, because there's games that I just like for so many different reasons, and because I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy fan. I enjoy those games. But then again, I enjoy Resident Evil games, and then I enjoy Devil May Cry games, and you know, there's just so many that start falling out to it. I like this game because of that reason. Like for turn-based RPG games.
Astos was looking pretty rough. Not just monster beating up rough, but something deeper.
Yeah, but good luck getting him to tell
I mean, oh, so you're a programmer too, are you? Is that where you know Mayuko from?
We're doing his dirty work for him.
Now then, you destroyed the power source.
Ironically, you say that. I tried studying for programming years ago, but obviously I didn't stick with it. I just went to general work and just cracked on from there.
In other words, you'll be forced to do your favorite thing. Reminisce.
Well, it was nice knowing you, Jack.
But yeah, no, programming's a great one to be involved in. At some points I'm like, oh, I should have stuck with it. At other points I'm like, it's fine. It is what it is.
We do this for Astos, and he gives us the info we want.
What info is that?
I get the feeling you know lots of stuff.
History.
I think we're safe.
So, what now? Let's be quick.
Make this
Yeah, well, to be fair, I did enjoy programming. It's just my position, I need to obviously get myself involved in work.
Same vibe.
won't be long before we're killing monsters.
Time is of the essence.
Because I like the idea of making retro style games, like, you know, the old 2D kind of arcadey games.
I don't care about any of that crap.
If it's not chaos, killing chaos, or light and dark, who cares, right?
Wrong. All of that's just background noise. All I care about is
Finding something to replace that purpose you lost.
you got it. I need a name. Something to kill. Nothing without a battle company.
So Lufenia sends its refuse here to generate yet more darkness.
Why would they want to make the stuff?
I have the feeling I wouldn't understand. Even if someone
Couldn't make it more obvious, could they?
Yeah, but it even comes with guardian monsters. Not very subtle.
There. A barrier must have gone down somewhere.
Jack, you okay?
Bubble Bobble.
That drive inside
I
of
remember
you
that game.
kept you anchored. Now it's gone. We're worried about you.
But
Good old Bubble Bobble.
job's over.
PlayStation 1 was Bubble Bobble?
Still out there, growing stronger.
I think it was.
It's right for once.
Obviously, I know you see that game like so many thingies of it now, but like that's the original to me.
Got your back.
Some of those.
Wow. It's
Like I remember my gran used to enjoy playing that game.
I never pegged you for a nature lover.
you really know how to ruin the moment.
I think my gran used to like watching Command and Conquer. She no idea why.
That's in our way.
And you're probably not wrong. I just thought I remember it from. It could have been on an older console, but I remember just because I had it on that one at that point. I'd be inclined to agree with you. I can't say I know when, but I'd be inclined to agree.
What do you see in that tower?
No idea. Whatever it was, he's not telling us.
One thing's for certain. We're better off if we doesn't remember where we come from.
Found some cubes.
Let's remember this case.
Too much darkness. Brace yourselves. Keep your composure.
Another blunt.
You need to destroy it. What should we do about that thing?
Destroy it.
You came in like a wrecking ball.
Got a talent for destruction. Jack, are you up to this? There's an enemy ahead. I know you saw it.
Don't question. You can always fight. Especially to get what you want.
It's like a living crystal. Because you're hitting it at random. Focus on one area and
Smash those crystals, you say? I smash those crystals. Dragon get yeeted.
nuisance.
Let's make this entertaining. Where do you think Lufenia is?
Somewhere far away.
Nice, nice.
Not just in distance. But in time.
Yeah, they're crazy. The whole aspect of that is like
Imagine you're a worm swarming
the whole because I really enjoy the concept of game development. You know, come up with ideas for stuff and things like that.
Eat you if they want to, but they'll probably just cover you in droppings.
Ew.
I had so many bloody books for it.
Won't be long before it's spewing monsters. Get into that big ugly eye! Stop looking at me! You think we're safe?
What the hell? It's coming apart. Midair?
Nope. We're the wrong way there.
I think we overdid it.
Who cares? At least we learned something useful.
Yeah. The darkness we sensed is gone.
Bingo. Let's smash some more statues. Those who sent us here are afraid of this world connecting back to their own.
In other words, they're terrified the past they abandoned will come back to haunt them.
Are you two talking about some demons?
Looks like that story wasn't about fantasy.
Out of my way, now!
Alright, last two missions and this run is complete.
Keep your wits about you and we'll be fine.
Another statue.
Good. I'll pull the ledge. But keep on the lookout.
This will be a thorn in our sides before long.
And that's just it. That's the whole point of creativity. You know, you might find that you don't like making the game's aspect things, but it's like, you know what, I want to make it so that the person making it
With us,
has so many tools to make it quicker and easier and more efficient for them. And that's why you get your whole creativity aspect from. It's a great way of doing it. And in hindsight,
What is this darkness
you probably play a big factor in making those games more viable because they're done in a more quicker time.
Animals, people, it's what caused
Like the whole thing of game developed these days is the efficiency behind it and having all tools available.
Dulled the crystal's light.
So basically, darkness makes sparkly happy world a sad gloomy world?
And what's our role in all this?
Balance is lost. It grows too strong. We're regulators. Our job is to maintain equilibrium between light and dark.
This is the last step. Remember, stay vigilant.
Woohoo! It all comes tumbling down!
Yes, I see that. Now let's try not to go down with it. We finally made it down here.
Time to confront Astos. Let's go.
Larian Studios. I know somebody who worked there or worked there.
But we did too good of a job. The Ruthenians sent more workers.
Good old Larian Studios.
Getting rid of the dark. Maybe someone was adding light as well.
That would be the princesses. Especially Sarah, I told you. No darkness lingered within the castle. Those walls.
Princess Zero. Just reach him.
I am an elven.
Get out of it.
I am grateful.
And this is the last one. And then we'll continue our bracket and then we'll work out what we're moving on to next.
We finally partitioned ourselves off from that vile, obsolete world. We cannot allow them to reestablish the connection from their end. That is why we need to keep monitoring the balance of light and darkness. If it looks like it will crumble, then we inject darkness to reverse the course, or reset the world, if need be.
Of course. If I could reset the world.
He's aware of the meme. Ironically, there are some emotes in our channel which were made for something completely irrelevant, completely different. So based on Magic the Gathering and the amount of shenanigans and nonsense and chaos I like to throw out there, which linked into this so much. Which when we was at GDQ, we were able to spam a lot of those chaos emotes. Because the whole thing about this is chaos. Becoming chaos and know what chaos is, and chaos and chaos of chaos of chaos. Have you heard of chaos?
Aren't you setting me up to become chaos? The Lufenians don't deserve a future.
Oh, Scarlet, I remember that.
You bastards don't deserve the
Can we, yeah, thank you. Get you to chaos. I remember when I did the speedrun for Final Fantasy 1 and beating this guy, he was memes for me so many times during runs. In this, it's like it's just like karma. Mm. Okay. I think that was everything there. I think I did all the missions. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Just do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, sweet. We'll take it. Rack is up another run, folks. Rack is up another run. Now, before we go on a break here, let's just have a quick little revisit on something here. Arcade 1986. 1990. No, that's the other one.